I guess we can start. Nikhil is having some problems with his net. That is why it is getting delayed. Probably we can start, and after presentation is done, we can take certain questions on scholarships and financing their options, financing options for students who are aspiring to study abroad.
Lovely, not a problem at all. Um,
Great.
Thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to present here. My name is Banit. I'm basically the founder of EduLoans. EduLoans is a platform which was built about a couple of years back, and till date we had about 14,000 students on our platform, about 1,400 plus sanctions, about 500 crores of disbursal of sanction value. We primarily cater to students looking to study abroad for all countries, that is, and I can proudly say we have the maximum number of students on the platform. We have the maximum number of lenders on the platform. We kind of give you the best and the most suited deals, and the part of it. So let's start off. One sec. So okay. So what about us? If you are a student who's looking to study abroad and looking at financing your education, now it's not cheap, right? Uh, you have to look at us as one of your viable options. What we do is help you get complete education loan for tuition and living expenses. We give you the best interest rate in town. So you get an option, guys. So basically, if you are looking at secured, unsecured, non-collateral, non-cosigner, and whatever be your kind of security, which you're looking to provide as a student, the entire thing is available in a single platform. And that's why we have 15 lenders, starting from the SBIs, the BOBs, the ICICI, the Axis, and everything across. And our team is well trained, if you would understand, and that's where we are. We also help you get the least remittance for Forex charges. So we have Forex players on our platform. We kind of help you out end to end. So it's a complete financial saving for you guys to do this. And obviously, businesses get built on a good team. I'm proud to say that all the members of EduLoans are committed. Handle calls post business hours. So right now it's like a post business hour, but we are still doing, and they will be attending your calls or responding on WhatsApp or doing everything. We cannot shake the decision of a lender. मतलब ये है कि हम उनको उनके अप्रूवल, if something is, if your CIBIL score is bad, ठीक है, हम आपको उनको इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं कर पाएंगे, but हम आपको सर्विस दे पाएंगे, and that is what differentiates us from other platforms across.
Interesting. Hello.
Yeah. Hi, Nikhil.
Hi.
Welcome. I just started off.
That's really nice. I can see that. Just to give a context, guys, I was talking to a person, and education loan is a really critical thing. From my perspective as a study abroad, mentor and an alumnus, planning for your finances is really critical at the early stage. So working out with the loan companies is going to be a task. But the reason that we partnered with EduLoans, and because they have a great amount of access and the good distribution, and I've spoken to Banit, I've attended, I think, Banit's Instagram lives also a lot of times. So these guys are doing amazing work. So I thought of, why not, help more and more people get to know more about the whole functioning of education loan. And again, it's not a bad thing to take an education loan. I'm trying to break that stigma. You can easily access a better quality education through a decent education loan, and you can easily pay it off in a couple of years on down the lane. But yeah, I think Banit is the right guy to explain to you. So I'll hand over to Banit.
Thank you, Nikhil, for the nice introduction. So I was saying about the genesis of EduLoans and how that came out. So, I mean, the same problem I faced, right? I still remember when I was going abroad, we had outside my house, there was a State Bank of Hyderabad. And the branch manager could not figure out which university I'm going to, because my university was not on the list, because financial engineering was never on the list of any university. They wanted MBA. And so this is what we are able to break here, and this is what we want to do. So EduLoans came out of this, of self-experience and understanding what we go through as students. So few benefits to, if you look at EduLoans, is one, we can definitely turn around the time of education loans, which means that When you come on a portal, you get access to the application form, the checklist of documents instantaneously. You don't need to go running around various places to get this kind of help across. The second thing is the accountability for turnaround time. So we work at a very, very starting from the high level to the granular level in terms of the education. So I talk to all the product heads, the kind of processes they said, and we're trying to build. So we were the first ones at BOB to get ourselves digitally integrated with them. So you don't need to visit the branch if you go through us. You can go to directly the loan office, which is what they call is the special mortgage store, where a dedicated guy is sitting for education loans, and he's the one who approves the case, right? So the branch just acts as a conduit. I mean, it's like a forwarding agent. They just pick up the file and courier it to him, and you reach them directly. And that is what we did, and we have burnt around these times with these financial providers to bring you an accountability. So in any time, like जैसे होता है ना, deadline for university is so and so date, इसकी भी deadline है, and we try to stick to that deadline. It is not that कि boss, I have gotten I-20 and now I am waiting for my education loan to show to get my to get my I-20 or something like that, whatever it is in terms of how you want to pay the process. Third, the entire information is on a single platform. So there are other platforms like us. I'm not saying that we are unique or we are the only ones in the market, but I can tell you this for sure. Nobody has the range which we have. We have all the 15 type of lenders. We even have US banks on our platform. So if anybody has a US green card co-signer or a US applicant, and we have, our last rate has been 1.6% rate of interest. That's been a last rate from a bank in the US, and we've actually helped that student out. His co-signer was excellent. So the complete gamut is there. We also say that no financial lender is bad. No financial lender is good. All is every financial lender is the most suited one, is the best for you. So that's where we have. Like you said, you have to plan your education loan in advance, and timelines and clarity of the status of the education loan is very, very important. So we're not the ones who are going to tell you, nahi, ho jayega, kar lenge, document submit kar do. So we have done a lot of cases, and my team itself is very trained to understand that using your profile and your eligibility parameters, which and what is the practical significance and what will practically happen. That's what we do. And the last but not the least, everybody likes to save money, and we save on the best rate of interest and negotiate on the best rate of interest. It's not that we negotiate, it's that we give you the options and hence you can negotiate. So it's like a game of Game of Thrones, or maybe how well your options are, and then you can negotiate with them. It's as simple as that. End of that, if you have one option and he's charging you a price, you have to go with it. But we give you that opportunity for you to better your financial aspects of your loan, which includes processing fee, rate of interest, other incidental charges, etc., etc.
Interesting.
Okay. Now, I will, before I get into the specifics of each bank and what they do in life, I'm just giving you a general overview of what the lenders look at from a profile of an education loan. So I am an ex-banker. I've been in the corporate banking side, and I've done a lot of loan proposals, etc. And that's why, maybe I can connect with this. So you basically have three, people who are mainly involved in terms of the eligibility parameters. One is the student profile. Second is the parent profile, and third is the property details. In the student profile, guys, they look at your GPA, which is your score. They look at your GRE, GMAT. So basically the NBFCs look at your GRE score, 300 plus, 310 plus, 325 plus. The interest rate depends on that. The course which you go to, STEM, non-STEM. So if you're looking at an arts program, maybe they will be less reluctant to give you, say, an unsecured loan at a particular rate. But if you're going for computer science, I don't say art is bad, guys, don't get me wrong, but that's the way they look at it. The university, yes. If you're going to top universities, the rate will be different. The score in many lending institutions for unsecured loan, especially, have a list of universities which they're ready to fund, and the list of courses which they're ready to fund. So if you guys want to know, if for example, if you don't have a property and don't want to burden your parents, and you want to say, okay, I want to do it independently, or just that personal guarantee is there, we can guide you at the step to choose the university. I mean, obviously, your personality, whatever options you get, you can reach out to us and tell, and we will guide you which one gives what kind of a loan. So, and that decision is important rather than accepting the thing and then running around for a loan. So that's the way we are, and we work very closely with our consultants, which is Nikhil. So we work very closely with them and create that that sense of security that okay, the admission is there, the loan is ready, and then things are in place. So that's mainly as a student profile. The second is the parents as a guarantor. So basically the CIBIL score. Here the CIBIL score is important. So all you guys out there, please, if your parents have some credit card default over 5,000, we are all egoistic people, but CIBIL is the god. So just get it out, get your score above 700, 750. That's the one they need. The second is the free income. So this is another thing which the banks look at, is how much free income as a family you have. So if your parents are planning to say buy a house, or invest into a property, or invest into something where a lot of EMI will kick in, my suggestion is do that after you fly. Because when that hits your parents or something like that, although they are not it's an unsecured loan, or they are not liable to pay, etc., but their income gets considered into this. Another thing which unfortunately happens is if your parents are politically connected, like the sons of police officers I have seen is tough to get a loan, the son of politically connected bureaucrat. So we have to play that. So be careful on that side. All you guys, please approach us if any of that. And obviously a stable income. So if your parents show a B graph, or here a stable, like the best profile is a government job. Aankh band karke loan milta hai. So if you have a government job with a 50, 70, 80 or 1 lakh or 2 lakh rupees package, parents, many of them give immediately in student loans across the board. Okay, so this is in terms of parents. Third, property details. In terms of property, it's important to note, हमारे को phone आता है, हाँ जी हमारे पास, we have this much worth of value of property, this, that. But when you come to them, it has to be incumbent, which means that there has to be no legal air on it. It has to be registrable. It has to have an OC, CC, all of the local municipality or the local approval. It has to be as per the plan approved by the local municipality, and it has to be approved to them. Now, Bombay, at least I know for sure that half the properties they make, they make it and then try for approval, because the builders are one big quote unquote blah blah blah. Okay, but I leave that aside. But that's where we are. In every part of the country, guys, you have to take this. Now, once your eligibility is set, then what are the parameters to look at in choosing your education loan? First, obviously, everybody wants the cheapest cost available. So you look at the processing fee, whether it's refundable, non-refundable, amortizable. How much is it charged? 1%, fixed rate. So for example, SBI you buy 10,000 rupees fixed. Jitna marji loan le lo. 20 lakh, 30 lakh, 50 lakh, 1 crore, whatever you want in life. Very fixed rate of interest. Okay. Incidental charges. This again is, say for example, Maharashtra has a 0.2% of equitable mortgage. Maybe other states don't have. What is the legal valuation charge? What is the property verification charge? What is the insurance involved in the loan? These are important parameters for you to consider, and we let you know in advance. Okay, it's not like a surprise ki sanction ke baad they come to know ki boss, okay sir, insurance mein 50,000, property fire itna 1.5 lakh ka bill bana diya usne, and then you have no choice in the end moment but to pay that 1.5 lakh. So don't get into that trap upfront. You discuss with us, and we will throw reality. As much as the sales guy wants to push you to get you the loan, we from our side will be fair and let you know ki boss, from this lender this is what you can expect, from this lender this is what you can expect. The point is here, guys, don't expect us ki we can negotiate or we can reduce this, because this is their rate chart, right? I mean, it's like boss, this is what they will charge you, but we can let you know in advance, and that is where we make a difference. And the last but not the least is the interest accrued. So we exactly know, not maybe exactly, but relatively know to the nearest 0.5 basis that where your loan will stick. So sometimes parents call me, unsecured loans are 8% pe chahiye, at 8% you need this. Not possible, not happening, man. You know, simply it's not there. So whatever, and sometimes they get a call from an overly enthusiastic marketing or sales guy from an educational loan company and says, "Sir, आपका loan करा देंगे. Don't worry, this much rate of interest." But let's do a reality check with us, you know, and that's what. And based on experience in the past, we'll give you a reality check of what happens. So once you decide on the financial cost, then what do you decide? Then you decide on convenience. So boss, I need service at home. What speed I need? You know, I had a parent who gave me a very clear thing. Ibanet, I have a property available, but I am only available on weekends. Give me somebody who can serve me on Saturday, Sunday. Full stop. मैंने कहा sir, rate of interest, no problem. 1-2% ऊपर लग गया, I have no issue. So these are the aspects. Whether you want to run around the bank wants to run around you. You want to complete digital process, like just fill up a form and get your loan sanctioned. Everything and anything is possible. So this is where your three things are the most important parameters for you to shortlist the loan. Concepts alag hain, like margin money, moratorium period, loan amount, loan to value, fixed income obligation ratio. These are all a parameters which you consider while choosing which kind of loan you want. These are intricate parameters. Each one explanation will take about 4-5 minutes. So I will, but I give you food for thought that education loan is not a plain vanilla thing. Some people start payment immediately. Some people start full pay. Some people start half pay. Some people are to a particular amount. We have to show the remaining amount. You know, all of those concepts exist. So I had a case sometime earlier that they got from a bank, you know, and say any of these private banks. I'll not name, but any of the both ICICI or Axis. But if you get a 30 or 35 lakh rupees loan and your actual I-20 into 2, which is your 2-year is about 80 lakhs. You need to show the other 50 lakhs and you need to disburse in that ratio and proportion. You know, please don't fall into a trap. They say you 9.5% mein milega, sir, we will do everything. And then you find out that you cannot service yourself the loan. So these are concepts which you need to know in advance and need to plan in advance. One sec, just divide my slide. Okay, so now let's come to the financial lenders on our platform. Okay, do we take the queries right now, or we wait till the end?
Let's wait till the end. Let's complete the financial partners and all, and then we're gonna start take a lot of queries. I do have certain questions also to ask.
Okay, chalega, done. Okay, so guys, we have broadly categorized our financial partners into three kind of parameters. One is the banks, which include State Bank of India, Bank of Baroda, Axis, ICICI. Mind, I is slightly incorrect. These are nationalized and private banks. Then you have the non-banking finance corporation, which is Credla, Avance, INCRED, Auxilo, Bajaj, Finserv. And then you have dollar loans for education, which is Empower, Prodigy, Leap Finance, and US banks like Sallie Mae, Ascent, and Earnest. So quickly running through pro and con, quick reference check will do it. If I try to explain each detail, it will that we can individually discuss on each basis. First one, State Bank of India, leader in its game, slow in its approach, but gets you the job done if you have time, reasonable at the rate of interest, 80 tax benefit, reach is the definite advantage of SBI. So I have had cases who are not located in cities, located in smaller cities, slightly remote ones. SBI is the game to go. Bank of Baroda, I would say the most progressive of the nationalized banks. They were the first ones to come out with a preferential list of universities where they are the best in terms of rate. So in terms of rate, in terms of finance, if you are in the preferential list, this is the bank to go. In terms of speed, they have made the process for us digitally more. I mean, you directly approach the loan officers. So you save a lot of time and hasslement. मतलब क्या होता है, अगर आप ब्रांच में जाते हो, ब्रांच कुरियर सर्विस देता है लोन ऑफिस को. It's called the SMS, Special Mortgage Service. We have digitally integrated the API from our, when you upload document and you fill up all the document and upload kar dete ho, the entire that set hits the server straight away. And you carry these physical documents in Xerox copy to the loan processing officer. It reduces 40-50% of your time straight away. it is 100% flexible on margin money, whereas SBI is not 100%. This can give you 100% loan value. Again, flexibility in terms of preferential rate. Reach is slightly an issue. It's not as much as SBI, very honestly. मतलब हर गली नुक्कड़ पे आपको BOB नहीं मिलेगा as SBI. SBI is the World Bank. I mean, in India का हमारा bank. That is in fact their tagline. It's like the Indian bank. मतलब boss, you can't, size and scale can't compete, but that is the advantage they have. Rest BOB is pretty good for people who are looking at secured loan. Now come to the two players, Axis, ICICI. These are the ones who actually are giving unsecured loans. You know, the benefit of these two, or in terms of general, is they basically give you on the university preference. The university and course के ऊपर ये loan देते हैं, and they have a ratio and they have a very fixed rate of interest. The rate of interest is better than the NBFCs, but they have certain procedural things that they require margin money. They are slightly slower, I would say, and they are slightly more rigid. Rigid का मतलब जैसे for example CIBIL score थोड़ा weak हुआ, they might not accept. You know, unsecured, secured, but if you're looking at say a घर पे बैठे loan, definitely can look at. ICICI is, Axis came before. ICICI in fact has been very, very, very aggressive in the last year and a half. मतलब पहले they didn't exist in the education loan market. 8 साल में they have come. Guys looking at Canada, they have everybody on the list. In fact, they have the most expansive list of universities to fund. मतलब अगर आप unsecured देख रहे हो, they are looking at the most expansive list of universities to fund. Rate of interest is fine, like it's a 9.5. I mean, again, they have their own issues, but very good and very positive about them. Okay, now let's come to the market leader who started it all in the unsecured segment. I'll be very honest, these guys were visionaries. Okay, both the Vora brothers came in 2009-7. Unfortunately, I did in 2007. They didn't exist at that time. By the time they existed, it was 2010. But these guys are visionaries. HDFC Credila was the oldest company to provide unsecured loan focused on STEM-oriented US students. And they've been doing a brilliant job of it. They are still the market leaders. They still have very flexible rate of interest. They have men on the street. They give good service. I mean, everything is good about them. I mean, there is nothing bad about Credila. I can speak here. I mean, obviously, you can check other options as well. Obviously, rate of interest for say ICS to Axis will be cheaper than Credila, but they are more flexible. You know, so that's where they are. Further point to note is they have the only 80E tax benefit. For the students looking at countries apart from US, I would say the product portfolio is not so vast. मतलब उनका ना एक niche है जिसमें वो concentrate करते हैं and they are the best in it. मतलब वो tiger है, राजा है उस niche के. But if you're looking at other aspects, so like UK, Australia, Canada, blah blah blah, or maybe a lower GRE score, or maybe a non-STEM course, they are not the best place to see. Okay, just one second. Avance. Okay, so basically Avance has, I'll tell you, Avance का जो pedigree है. Okay, so HDFC Credila is owned by HDFC Bank, which is the largest bank in India. Avance is owned by World Bank. Okay, so basically they have Avance is owned by World Bank and they are owned by Warner Pickness, which are the two biggest firms in the world. I mean, you can't have a proprietor greater than this. In the last year and a half, they have been the most innovative. They have been the most, student friendly, and they give you loans which the others might not. And they have been aggressive. So definite recommendation. They are slightly on the expensive side. Their average loan size or average compared to Credila थोड़ा सस्ता हो गया, थोड़ा ऊपर होंगे, but it gets benefited by they are ready to consider parameters or flexibility which maybe Credila does not. So they are very, very, very competitive. बाकी countries के लिए excellent, and I would say beautiful. Incred and Auxilo are like the chota bachas of this gang. I mean, they are maybe not that spread, not that powerful, but they do capitalize on the niche. I mean, there are regions where they excel. They also have a very, very similar offering. So all these people have a very similar kind of offering. 40 lakh rupees unsecured, कहीं का 35, 40, 45, basically US focused. अगर हम US बात कर रहे हैं, so that is it. Other countries 15-20 lakh. Incred also has a wider spread of, the product portfolio is quite widespread. they also give PL. So एक INCRED का एक advantage is they are the on apart, the other two are only education loan. These guys are also personal loans. So ना they sometimes structure कि education loan भी दे दिया और parent को PL भी दे दिया, and then they kind of match up the whole thing. So they have flexibility compared to the others, and I mean that the student can use of, and they also can give application process के लिए loan. जिसका मतलब है कि when you are applying to universities or you want to do a PL, if you are a studying student, suppose we've had a student who have worked for 3-4 years and they don't want to put the burden on their parents. कि बस हमको parents के साथ नहीं करना काम या whatever. You want that funding, that is also available. So those are prerequisites for something like that. Auxilo is the latest guy on the block. They are pretty aggressive. They do pretty well. They kind of get the loan done as well. Between the 4 NBFCs, obviously there are smaller ones, but they are focused. So जिस market में operate करते हैं, they give a good competition. Maybe they're not widespread. Maybe they're not across the country. Like Redla might be in 10 cities, Auxilo might be in 4 cities. But वो 4 cities में competition देते हैं. So you can come back to us on what you want to do and how you want to do. Okay, now the godfather of the NBFCs, Bajaj Finserv. Bajaj Finserv does not give an education loan. What they give is LAP, loan against property. ठक करके देते हैं overnight if, and their main criteria is parental income. So for example, if your parental income is strong, loan against property चाहिए, overnight पैसा चाहिए, मतलब परसों बच्चे ने फीस पे करनी, आज हमने रात शाम को डिसाइड किया कि we want to get a loan. Bajaj Finserv is the place to go. They will do the job. Others will still do some, because others rely on the student profile, admit letter, prana dimkana. सीधा इधर parent की income, civil score, ITR देखा क्या existing loan है, ठक करके loan, and this is an OD facility, overdraft. So it's like you submit the property paper, get an OD. Now the next range of lenders: Empower, Prodigy, Leap Finance. All of these people are US-centric, dollar-oriented loan there, where they give non-collateral, non-cosigner. So there is a difference. So for the NBFCs, you will require to have a cosigner which is working, like parents have to be working, employed, part of it. इनके लिए non-collateral, non-cosigner. मतलब अगर बच्चे वो list of university में है, जैसे कि Empower देता है 50,000 तक, 10.59 to 11.99, constantly reducing rate of interest. Everything is well. They have the largest list of universities, 220 plus. Beautiful. Caution to note: at the current stage, due to the current pandemic, they have stopped lending. So we are expecting them to launch anytime by February or March. Most of them will come out by the time you guys require loan by March, April should be fine. Prodigy Finance. Okay, so they are the spearheads of international student finance. Okay, they were the first ones to come out to recognize international student finance way back in 2007-8. It's like the Credila is the Indian version of student finance and a world version of student finance. Okay, so they have been bigger. They've made $1 billion book. Everything is positive about them. They are currently funded by the US government. They have a US government arm which looks after IDFC. It's called the IDFC, which is an arm which funds developmental activities of student finance, and they actually get a $1 billion line of credit from them. They are competitive on LIBOR compared to say Empower, but Empower has a more wider audience of universities, okay, compared to say Prodigy. But both of them very competitive. Both the processes are completely online. Matlab, you go online, put your requirement, put your course, put your this, tuck, within like 4 or 5 days, you'll get a loan. Come to Edu Loans, we'll help you fill the application form. Okay, वो भी आपको हम आपको guide every way में करेंगे. हमारा link है. We'll do everything which is possible to help you out in this process. Third, Leap Finance. Leap Finance started about a year back, but it started lending. It start lending this fall. It looks at a bit of your parent profile. It looks at a bit of your this. It's one of the youngest kids on the block, so it's been slow, and it's trying to compete. So it's been good. We had a couple of students, so we will take that from there. In case the other two don't, Prodigy or Empower don't, then we look at Leap Finance. US banks. Now, this is where if you guys have some relatives, chacha, mama, taya, whatever you want in life, or a family friend who is a green card holder or US citizen, they have the best rate of interest. And I can tell you right now, because I recently got out on 1.6. The other one we got at 1.9, 3% to 5%. Okay, so quote unquote, my disclaimer here. It depends on your co-signer. It doesn't depend on our process of filling up the form. Clear about it? So it doesn't even primarily depend on you. I mean, you're not the main person who depends on. Yes, if you get a higher ranked university or a better university, maybe the rate slightly marginally shifts, but it depends primarily on your co-signer. Excellent options, beautifully done. We have a list of 3 banks, but if you want other banks to compare, then we charge. So, okay, guys, one more thing here. EduLoans is a free platform. We work very closely with Ashwani and team. Ingrained in your system, they look after the application process. We took up the loan part and we kind of help you together. So that's where we are in terms. Procedure, very simple. Reach out to Ashwani, get it done, or go on EduLoans. They have a drop down, put in Ashwani's tag into there, and you will get it. We get an RM allocated to you city-wise, so wherever you go, you get in. In this case, mostly it's going to be Akshay Dhumal because it's going to be from there. Akshay Dhumal is going to be a dedicated point of contact, and he's going to help you and guide each and every student to the best education loan option available. And obviously, last but not the least, happy faces. Everybody likes to this. So these are we have over 151 Google reviews. And it's at 4.9 actually. So, friendliest and dedicated. And I really feel, so this was a vision by me in 2017, 18. By that time, I got around a tech team, which we have on board who are ex-Bank Bazaar, etc. वो 2018 हो गया. By the time they made the 2018 mid हो गया. It was like a losing hope, but then we actually doing. And even during the lockdown, although we are badly affected because end of the day, guys, we also run on revenues. Everybody has to take a salary back home. And usually when you take a loan is what we get reimbursed by. So we don't charge our students anything. This is where we are. And the last but not the least, what is the impact of COVID on your loan? So let's look at this. And then after that, I'll be taking questions. So the COVID-19 has actually benefited you guys. I can tell you this because both the repo and the LIBOR rate have crashed. इसका मतलब ये है कि अभी आप रेट जो देख रहे हो सब कम है. जैसे LIBOR मैंने बोला कि लंदन यूएस बैंक का रेट क्रैश हो गया है. Repo rate, which is the RBI rate, has also crashed. So you guys are getting cheaper rate of interest. NBFCs might be higher based on the cost of capital they have, but that is also, I can tell you, for the top two, Avance and Incred, Avance and Credila, both of them are also reduced. Eligibility in case of online semesters would vary from NBFC. So if you're looking at an online semester, if you are studying from here and looking online, I know that hopefully that by fall or by June, July, everything will go out of the window. But if you look at online semester, they are ready to lend. For the banks, online semesters remain the same. So it's a BOB, SBI, etc. Even if you're selling online, they will still give you a loan. Third aspect, if you get a sanction letter today and you defer your app intake to the next month, the sanction letter remains valid for 6 months. The processing fees is non-refundable by these channel partners, but can be transferable. So एक बार आपने पैसे भर दिए, it is very tough for us. People come to us, अभी मैंने plan drop कर दिया, COVID-19 हो गया, I am not going. My parents are saying no. उसमें problem है हमको because we cannot get you the loan, we cannot get you the thing back again because it's non-refundable. But what we do is we transfer them. So whenever you want to go, people have transfers. So a lot of people have. So we have, जैसे आपने देखा ना, इतने हमारे 1400 sanctioned है और 800 disbursed है. वो 600 बच्चे हमारे पास प्लेटफॉर्म पे रेडी है who are going to go in fall 2020, but now they are going to go in fall 2021. So there are 600 of these students who are on our platform with the loan approved, ready to disburse as soon as the things move. That's where we are. And we are all holding them. We are helping them out with their whatever in terms of how to get that. We support all online documentation. So we had completely integrated our portal with complete online. You didn't go to visit the branch. You got the sanction letter. सब कुछ online हो रहा था. Especially the NBFCs and the private banks, they didn't require physical paper, and we supported you guys. And our portal was equipped. Their portal was equipped. Physical documents went. Email went. All supporting went. Everything was happening. So avoid bottlenecks. And even during COVID right now, start the process. As soon as you're done with your applications or even the middle of your applications, if you have time, start the process. Do not wait until the last moment. That's it, Nikhil, from my side. In terms of, I'm open to questions, given your overview about EduLoans is, and what we do, and what we are passionate about, and our thing is empowering dreams. So that's what we do. A few point where Nikhil said ki students are able to repay. So it is our general trend that if you look at within the first 2 to 3 years, most of the students repay the loan, right? So even 40-50 lakhs of loan amount generally gets repaid by students in about 2 to 3 years, and that Nikhil will be able to guide you better. But I can give you a statistics which speaks with us. Over to you, Nikhil.
Thank you, Banat. So, what essentially the education loan the people have concerns with is their usual early eligibility, which has been asked repeatedly over a lot of times. Going for education counseling, all of these things are one part of the effort. Then getting a loan is another part of the effort. So usually, if there is any mechanism, how do we, educate, or how a user can educate themselves, there would be an eligibility of the loan. Is there anything that is coming up or is already there? How do they can assess their eligibility with, let's say, as easy as a test score or maybe a probable university list?
And that's very much possible. So we can, so our counselors are equipped to, guide the student on the eligibility. So basic things, just basic things like test score, basic thing like the eligibility list, basic thing of what your parents earn, ITR and CIBIL score. These 3-4 factors, we can give you an indicative assurance that, which I would say is about 95% assurance on that your loan will go through. And this is a tentative rate of interest plus minus 0.5. So if I tell you between 11 to 12%, I can get you from A, B, C banks. उसमें A, B तो हो ही जाएगा. A, B, C ना हुआ. I mean, and most probably C भी हो जाता है, but A, B तो पक्का हो जाएगा. So that's where we are. Uh, in terms of there are obviously lenders on our platform who give an education loan or a sanction letter before even the admit is released. They do a pre-sanction is what they call. We can do that if you apply to us, and we'll get you the pre-sanction, etc. But I would say it's just a marketing gimmick. Okay, it's just for them to hold you and not for you to shop around and for you to accept. Not get the best deal around. So I mean, you can get one deal, but don't hold on to that deal and see what you have in the marketplace and get the best for yourself. It's like going to buy vegetables, right? If you would know your mother, I mean, I have seen this. At least my mother does this. Okay, like she goes to buy onion. The first winter she'll ask, "Bhav kya hai?" Okay, ji. Then she goes second one, "What is the rate?" Okay, ji. Third one, she will go and ask, "What is the rate?" And if that guy is similar to all, then the third is okay. He is given the right price, I'll buy it. So in the first, he is never on the rate, right? Because you don't know how the pyaj is. I mean, the onion is, right? Onion price varies every day. 35 hai, kal 40 hai, kal 25 or whatever. So same situation.
Exactly. Okay, guys, we are running a small poll just to understand where you guys are interested to go and what kind of problems are you facing. I'm launching the poll right now. Do share your opinion so that way we can probably help you. We are creating certain bunch of guides, creating bunch of ebooks, and also the guidance materials, and also it will help us to understand where you would need in your education loans also, so that if you need to be educated about it, we're going to help you for sure. So, okay. Mhm. We are seeing a rise in Germany, US, UK. Interesting.
Yes.
Mm. Rest of Europe. Okay. Nice. US is always leading, honestly. Yes, we have like 30 seconds max. Please poll it sooner. I've seen like 19 people have polled out of 38, 40 people. Yep. Hmm. Okay. I think 60%. Any last takers to the poll? Okay. Yep. 65%, 70%, close to 70. Okay. Hmm. So most of you are interested for US, as I see. And the bigger problem is choosing your college or university. Don't worry, we have tools coming up. We have certain really good resources that's going to help you to narrow down which kind of college you want to go, which kind of university you want to go. All of these things could be easily automated. The idea is to make yourself sustainable on that, and you can easily pick up your choices. Okay, so I'm just ending the poll. Mm. So yeah, as we see
Yes.
right now, US still leads it. Then we have bunch of in Canada, bunch of in UK and Germany. I believe Germany is because of the blocked account. A lot of people cannot afford the
Yes.
blocked account, and that's fairly fine.
Correct.
If people don't know, in Germany and Canada, there is a upfront uh, expense that you see. Even if you get your fees and all covered, you need to have a GIC for Germany, which would cost you around 5.5 or 6. Sorry, GIC for Canada, which will cost you 5.5 to 6 lakhs at least, $10,000. And for Germany, it's also somewhere around 10,000 or 6 to 8 lakhs, I believe, is the cost. That is a blocked account. The idea is,
Correct, Nikhil, and there are banks who do that as well. So we have private banks who actually help you for Germany, because Germany tuition fees is free, right? The only thing is living expense. उसके लिए भी आपको लोन मिलता है, and unsecured भी मिलता है. So get me a good TU admit or get me a good applied science admit. I will try to get you the loan.
absolutely. So, guys, the idea is even if you want to go for an affordable or a free education, you can go to Germany for sure. There are good colleges there and bunch of great colleges. For blocked account where you might need financial support, you can probably connect to EduLoans or connect to us. We're gonna help you with your blocked account, and that's basically your living expense, which in a way you can pay it off very sooner, because the moment you land up in Germany, you would do your part-time job, you would earn, and that money could go into the savings, and you can easily pay off your loans very sooner. So that would really help, and that's more like a student to student tip. I think this was great. Manit, a couple of questions from again from my side as per the students is, uh, when we look at collateral versus non-collateral, what do we basically, what's the base difference between collateral and non-collateral?
So for a collateral is that you should have a property available which should be mortgageable, and the bank loan is securitized against that property. So that will be my collateral. And non-collateral is that there is no security involved. Kindly note that sometimes non-collateral is oversold by certain NBFCs or private banks. Even if you're going for a non-collateral loan, your parents still stand as guarantors. And invoking the personal guarantee in the future, if case you choose to default, okay, you would have, your personal assets of your parents attached to get the money out. So,
Okay.
but for a non-collateral loan, you don't need to have a property available. So if you don't have a property, go for a collateral loan. If you have a property, go for a collateral loan. But if you don't want to have a property, and or maybe that property already has some sort of loan going on, say for example housing loan going on, etc., etc., uh, you can go for an unsecured loan. That's not a problem.
So, which gives to a second question. Yes, definitely, guys.
That's
This is
my
work
son.
from home. So,
Yeah.
again, this is
Sorry,
an
sorry for that. That's my son here. He's about 5 years and obviously intrigued by the web conferencing thing.
absolutely, that's so cute. Okay, so there's one more question which gonna rise from here is, if a property is itself on loan, if a property is already having their own interest, can that property also be mortgageable?
Yes, it can. So what they do is called the top-up loan. It's the concept where suppose if you have a property say worth 1 CR and you have a loan of say 30 lakhs outstanding, the remaining 70 lakhs they can give you a 70%, 80% on the loan. But what will happen in that case is the bank will retransfer it. So for example, if you're going to say a BOB, they'll give you a loan against property, that component, and then top up they'll give an education loan. So it's definitely possible, but the complete revamp of that loan book will happen. Slightly will take longer time, let me assure you. So if 15-20 days more, it may be 30 days or 45 days, but it's definitely possible.
Yep. Okay, that's pretty fine. So yes, you can connect to EduLoans either directly or through us also. Yes, EduLoans offer blocked accounts finances too, but I'm not sure. Can you answer this question? Does EduLoans offers blocked accounts?
No, EduLoans is not a lender. But we have lenders on the 15 lenders we show, they offer money for blocked account. That's not a problem.
Okay. So indirectly, EduLoans will help you get the blocked accounts done.
Yeah. Oh, no, okay. So the loan for the money for to put in the blocked account. Blocked account has to be opened for by the respective banks like
Yeah.
Scotia Bank
It could be like a German
or
bank there you need
yeah,
to
or
open.
German bank or part of it.
Absolutely. So yes, if you're opening up a blocked account, the idea is you open a bank account there in their country, let's say Germany, and then you block an X amount of money as per the government norms. That money gets transferred to you on a monthly stipend basis for your own subsistence allowance only. This money is not going anywhere. This is something like a government keeps it as a security so that you go to that country, you have certain finances to sustain. You don't just go there with no money. So that is where
You
the
don't
government.
you don't become the liability. You reach there and say, boss, save me. I'm human.
Yes. And because European countries are very generous on that, there are cases where the government also gives you a certain amount of allowances if you are unemployed. So they do have those support, but they don't want people to misuse those supports. So that's one of the reasons they keep blocked account as one of the means to support you. So yes, GIC and blocked account EduLoans can easily help you get it done through their lenders. So feel free to go ahead. And yes, you can connect to EduLoans, as I said, either through their website or through us. If you connect through us, probably you may get certain vouchers additional from us, but that's
Agreed.
absolutely fine. But
No. So even if they connect to the website, you would have your drop down and they should choose that they refer through us.
so yes, you can refer us so that we definitely build a good partnership, and at the same time, you get certain extra support from our side to help you out. But then that's absolutely fine. So yeah, I think that's predominantly. Any other questions, guys? Feel free, because again, education loan is one of the biggest challenge in your education if you're planning to study abroad, and that's where loans play a big role to convert your dreams to reality. Even if you get a good admit from a good university, but if you didn't know how to plan a loan, and I know personally a lot of cases there where they didn't know how to plan a loan and they missed out on their admits, they missed out on some amazing opportunities that they had, and that's something you should not happen to you guys. Okay, can you please explain the loan? Priya, I think this particular section is covered before, if I'm correct. Anit?
Let me just open the chat, please. Just a moment. Oh, getting loans from US banks. Okay, so if you have a cosigner, a green card holder, a US citizen, you are eligible to apply to US banks to get a loan. We kind of help you to it. You come and register on a portal, and we'll guide you and help you in filling up the forms. I mean, we'll send you the link and we'll tell you what is it. But the important aspect is you need to have a green card holder or a US citizen to co-sign or stand as a guarantor, basically a guarantor for your loan. Okay. UK universities, they offer loans, I mean, up to 15 or 20 lakhs. So masters are pretty much covered by any kind of lenders. Don't worry about them. Undergraduate courses are tough. So, okay, so very honestly, unsecured loan for undergraduate, it does not happen so much. Okay. It happens more at the master's level. Definitely can work out.
And how about MBA, Banat?
MBA is also very easy. So MBA from top universities, 100% funding is available by lenders, unsecured as well.
Okay, and I got a question on our community actually. So, age criteria for loan for PhD students. Can PhD students apply for loan? This is very.
So PhD generally means full funded,
Hmm.
but certain cases, obviously, what because of shortage of funds, PhD students. So age criteria does exist. Okay, so I'm not going to say that if you're a 32-year-old looking to get a loan, people are going to be skeptical. The banks are going to be, or the lenders are, versus a 26-year-old who's going, straight up for MS. Things are going to be there. But notwithstanding, my idea would be that a PhD directly, agar, if you are looking at then you do MS plus PhDs, if I mean going for an MS, then convert it into a PhD, or so things like that, those are better off getting a loan. So it's possible, but it's not a plain vanilla thing. It's not like, okay, like the point is very clean. It's a There are certain things, or how much your parents is, how much liquid assets you have, what kind of guarantee, or you're giving a security, not a security, the other factors which come into play.
Okay. Interesting. So guys, we have precisely 5 minutes max. So if you have any questions, please feel free to shoot it. Else, you can definitely ask questions later on also. You can go to our website, you can go to EduLoans, you can ask as many questions, and definitely you would get a response. So that something is there. Mm. So how smoother is the process? Okay, one question I'm getting on my WhatsApp community is how smoother is the process of getting a loan in general, just like a general perspective. Which channels are a little smoother process, which channels are a little bit, hassle. There are some hassle.
So the easiest process is getting completely online, which would mean Empower, Prodigy, etc. You just go, type a few things and you'll get a loan. The second is the ones who get you home service, which is the NBFCs or the private banks. So they come and deliver you home. They give you a document, signature easy hota hai, as per your convenience hota hai. And the last is obviously the banks where you have to go. But trust me, when you go to the bank, you get 8%. When they come to you, get 11%. So you decide what you want to do. And if you do online, you get 11% in dollar terms. So, okay, there's another thing which I want to highlight here, which I could have missed out in my presentation, is that when you get a dollar loan versus rupee loan, you have to look at the depreciation of the rupee, which is about 4 to 5% yearly. So a thumb rule, well, if I go into international currencies and fluctuations and blah, 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 thumb rule le lo, 4 से 5% add to your dollar loan to equivalent to make it to a US, to an Ireland loan. So for example, a 9% from Prodigy is equivalent to a 13% from Avance. That's the ballpark figure. So baki we will discuss case to case basis when we reach out.
Absolutely. Okay. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining at this last moment, and thank you, Banit, for such a detailed presentation. We would definitely take in more inputs from Banit and his team, and we would probably share with you an ebook about how to get an education loan. We are preparing it exclusively for the community, where I believe EduLoans could really help us with the knowledge and all. How do we choose loans, and all of these things are there. And for anyone who is having still any questions, you can join the community. We have built a very active Telegram community. You can ask all the questions. There are a lot many support set is there in the community, and they can help you out with all your questions also. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you everyone for joining in. Thank you, Vanit.
Thank you for having us over. Thank you for being a patient soldier. Reach out to me on our EduLoans portal. And thank you, Nikhil, for giving this opportunity.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.